Hey guys, Brian and Eric here from 5 to Go, coming at you from chilly Central Florida.
It's very chilly here.
It was like 31 degrees last night.
Did it really get that cold?
Yes, not fun,
gosh.
not fun.
No.
We did not come to Florida for this.
No.
So, we are going to go on a walk. We're going to go explore because it's beautiful right now.
Yes.
Right? And our last video was a little controversial.
Yeah,
so we talked about
a lot to say about that one.
Yeah, you did. Some of you were very vocal about some of those things. However, so that was things you shouldn't do while RVing in 2021.
Should not do.
Should not do. So today we're going to talk about the things
you should do.
you should do
Yeah.
in 2021. So a lot of you guys have new RVs. Some of you might not have been able to use them this year.
You might not have gotten them yet.
Right. Might not have gotten them. Something might have broke. It's back in
Yep.
the shop, whatever. It
Yep.
happens. You're going to camp in 2021.
It's going to happen.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. 2021 is going to be a fantastic year for RVing and loud diesel trucks.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But the first thing on our list, we're just going to get right out in front of this. Pandemic's not over.
You still have to follow the rules.
You still have to follow the rules.
Yes.
Wear your masks if you're around other people.
Even if you have the
Social
vaccine.
distancing.
Seen the CDC stuff.
Yep. So
do all the things
just
you're supposed to be doing,
keep
like
an eye
you've
on
been
that.
doing.
We're not getting into politics. We're not getting into any
Nope.
of that stuff right now. Follow the rules. Do what's safe.
Yep.
And have a good time.
Yeah.
So with that being
Still
said,
possible.
let's go ahead and start our walk, and then we'll be back with some things that you should do.
Absolutely.
All right. Just a real quick note about masks. We do have them in our pockets.
Yes.
But it's a very quiet post-Christmas Saturday morning right now. There's nobody out.
Nobody's out.
But
and it's cold.
it's cold. But if we run into people, we'll put our masks on.
Yeah.
But we want
you
you guys to be able to hear us.
Yep.
So, all right. Next up, we have a recommendation from one of our Roadrunners, Eric.
Yep.
He had a fantastic recommendation. That is to take people with you
I've never been camping.
that have not been RVing before.
New to camping people.
Yeah, so RVing is not something that everybody has done before. We decided to go full-time before I had ever even stepped foot in an RV.
So weird.
Which is really strange. That's a story for another time.
Yep.
But that is a great recommendation. So take people with you that haven't been RVing. Take people with you that think RVing is silly or
Just don't understand it.
Yeah, there's a lot
maybe
of
they-
misunderstandings.
Or maybe they call your RV that house with wheels.
Yeah, so take those people with you. Maybe they'll get the bug.
Yeah,
Right?
that'd be cool.
And then a follow-up to that one is from us.
Yeah, because once you've indoctrinated them into it, then they become your friends that can come camping with
That's
you
right.
all the time.
Now you've got people to camp with. So
Yep.
go RVing with other RVers,
Yes.
right? It is
Absolutely.
so fun. So
Plan a
we have-
weekend, park next to each other,
Yep.
plan your meals. It's an awesome time.
Yeah, we had a great time, especially down at the Florida Keys. We actually had 2 other families with us.
Yes.
And it was great. We traded off cooking. We had a bunch of kids to play together.
Yep, it was wonderful.
Yeah, so those are 2 really, really good recommendations for you guys. Just be social, have fun.
It's great.
So our next recommendation is to go visit friends and family with your RV,
Yes.
right? There are campgrounds all over the country. Like, you'd be surprised. If you really start looking for them, you will see that campgrounds are everywhere.
Yeah, and it's a really great way too if you want to go visit someone who maybe like lives in an apartment and doesn't have space for you and your 3 kids,
Yep.
because you brought your home with you or your
Yeah.
RV with you, and
Yep.
so you can see family members you haven't seen since the last wedding, people you haven't seen since you've been in high school together, and it's just really a nice way to see the country and visit some friends and family.
Yeah. Next up, talk to your neighbors.
Absolutely.
Right?
Talk to
Be
your
social.
neighbors.
Talk to people. You all have something in common. You're all RVers.
And you'll
And-
probably be a better neighbor too if you've
Yeah.
talked to them and they know that you're good people.
Yeah, we've and kids. If you're camping with kids, kids are a phenomenal icebreaker.
They are.
Right? They will just go up and talk to other kids, start playing together. You know, they don't have that hesitance that us adults
No,
do.
they don't. You're right.
But the one thing I do like about RVing, one of the many things I like about RVing, is that you all have RVing in common, right? So whether you want to talk about some gear that you saw, what kind of rig you got, you know, stuff like that, you always have somewhere to start when it comes to talking to other RVers. And with that being said, there are a lot of us that do YouTube. If you see us out, say hi,
Yeah,
like that guy did.
I did.
He said hi the other day. We gave him stickers.
Yep.
Right? So say hey
Hi,
to people
Brian.
if you recognize them. Next up, a lot of campgrounds have clubhouses and pools and
Event
shuffleboards
calendars.
and tennis and
Yes.
all sorts of stuff. And like she said, a lot of them have event calendars.
Make sure you check those out because they will have things for kids to do. They'll have things for senior members of the RVing community. They will have lots of different events. They might have a dinner going on. We had a Christmas dinner go on here on Monday night, and they did it all outside, and everybody was socially distanced, and it was great. We got to hear Christmas music and kind of have a little bit of fellowship with a little karaoke too. It was a lot of fun. But they've had events here every day, 3 or 4 different things going on. So make sure you check those out, because you'll meet new people and have some fun.
And it's everything from like water aerobics to candy bar bingo to s'mores and just all sorts of fun stuff. So check it out.
Next on our list comes from another one of our Roadrunners, Christina. She says you should be prepared when you're going out on your RV trips.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. You should know how your RV works and the things that you need to make it a successful trip. So whether you need to go out and do one of those shakedown trips where you kind of work out all the kinks and make sure you have hoses long enough and all that kind of stuff. Also, run slides in and out, run your stabilizers up and down. Make sure you just know how it works. Be prepared.
Make sure if it's a towable, make sure you know how to hook it and unhook it.
Yes.
And if you can camp for a night or two in your driveway, that's
it.
Even better. Like you can run inside to use the bathroom or whatever if you don't have sewer hookups at the house. But it's a great place to run everything out, make sure everything works, hook up the water, hook up at least an extension cord to use power. Just do things, flip things, touch things, make sure things work. Absolutely. I mean, you should have done all of that when you picked it up with the pre-delivery inspection. But doing it in the house, spending time in it, sitting in it, laying in it, jumping in it, moving around in it.
Make sure you have blankets, because even though it might be the middle of summer, your AC is going to work pretty well, so you might want a blanket. So just make sure you're prepared when you go out and do stuff.
And do all of that before you go on your 2-hour, 2-week-long 10-state
in a different state
tour.
place.
It's always nice to do it. So if you can't do it in your driveway, like Erin said, do a shakedown trip. Find a campground close to your house. So you can easily run back if you forgot something, or if something goes wrong, you can just go home and sleep in it, and you don't have to pay for a hotel or anything like that.
Also, during all of this pandemic stuff, make sure you know what the rules are if you're going into a different state or a different county or a different, so you make sure you have your masks, or you make sure you know if you can eat out or if you have to do carry out, or just kind of investigate all of those things now that we have this extra layer of be preparedness. And
there's a couple states with required quarantines, like 2-week quarantines and all that. So do your research, make sure you know where you're going, and also be prepared with your route. Look at your route ahead of time. We do our routes we do our routes just on Google Maps, and if we leave the highways or like kind of the major roads, we'll get down at satellite view and sometimes even street view to look at corners, look at overhangs, stuff like that. There are apps out there that will let you put in weight and length and all of that. We haven't really found one that we like a lot. We have a lot more information about this on our Discord channel. A lot of talk about apps to use, a lot of talk about planning, a lot of talk about how to find good campgrounds and all that. So 5togo.com/Discord, and you can join our Discord server and chat about all of that. We talk about that all the time. Next up, don't try and drive 12, 14, 16, 8 hours in one day.
No, not when you're towing something or driving a big motorhome.
It's way different than a long road trip in a car or a van. It's really not the same thing.
No.
Plus, you are bringing your bed and a bathroom and all sorts of stuff behind you.
You don't have to find a hotel room.
So break up your trip, and you don't even have to find a campground, because you have everything you need right there behind you.
You can stay at a Walmart or a Cracker Barrel. Cabela's does some
Cabela's
things.
does it. Dick's Sporting Goods.
Sometimes Camping Worlds have spots if you just call them and say, hey, do you have any spots for overnight?
Yeah, we know the one in Buffalo does. We've stayed there.
We stayed there.
Yeah, so we've stayed in all sorts of different places. Rest stops even. We've stayed at rest stops in Kansas.
In some states you can.
Some states. You have to make sure and check ahead. But they are all great ways to break up a long drive, or even just stop for 4 or 5 hours, take a nap, let the dogs get out, let the kids get their wiggles out.
Have lunch, whatever you want to do.
Stop and have lunch. We stop all the time while driving.
Don't be afraid to stop.
Yeah, and yes, it will take you longer to get there, but the destination isn't always the point.
Yeah.
Right? It's the journey.
It's the journey.
Next up, we have a recommendation from another one of our Roadrunners, Ben. And his recommendation is to get outside, cook outside, try new things. It was a great idea.
I like it.
We don't cook outside nearly as much as we should.
We really should start cooking outside a lot more.
And I got a new 22-inch dual burner Blackstone with a lid and legs for Christmas. So we've been cooking outside a lot more recently. It was early Christmas. It was a couple weeks ago. And we've been trying to get it out at least twice a week. And it's a great way to try new things. And another thing is, if you're going to be traveling around to new areas, try new foods.
Yeah, go to the local grocery stores and look in their meat departments or whatever you like to eat. It might be vegetables. There's always something different for that region or that state.
Yeah.
We found some of our favorite things that we can't find here.
Yep.
But
or if you're coming somewhere like Florida, there's a lot of seafood.
There's a lot of seafood.
Out in the mid, or
Try it.
out west, not a lot of seafood.
No.
So try new things, get outside, cook, enjoy the weather, enjoy the campground, talk to your neighbors while you're cooking.
Yep.
Yep.
Last on our list, check out a caravan. Now, it is COVID times, but if you're planning on going somewhere like Alaska or Mexico or someplace new that you haven't been before, there's usually a caravan that you can join, and then you're not traveling alone and trying to navigate new areas by yourself. We are planning a caravan for this coming summer, like summer 2021. Can't tell you where though.
It's not Alaska or Mexico though.
It's not Alaska or Mexico. It's not that far. We're planning kind of a 6 or 7 week trip. We would love for you to join us. Right now it's just open to our Roadrunners, so if you're interested in where we're going and how we're getting there and maybe joining us somewhere along the route, you can check us out on 5togo.com/Roadrunners, and we would love to have you there. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
What if I wanted to be in the outro?
You can't be in the outro. I already did it.